The time has changed. The days are getting longer. And you know what that means. It's topwater season, baby.
Let's get into it. Like my man Aaron said, it's topwater season. Whether you're throwing a popper, a shower blows, a buzzbait, or a Whopper Plopper, my man Aaron's gonna break it down with some on the water footage and bait selection that's critical this time of year. So as we know, topwater season is upon us. We've got some of our top selections of baits that you need to be throwing this time of year. When we think about topwater, the Head & Zaria Spook, tried and true, original. My man Aaron has got the new Evergreen Shower Blows. It adds the walking of the pencil, but it also gives a little bit of action with some splash.
Yes, sir.
Walk us through it.
Yeah, so, you know, the Evergreen Shower Blows, this thing is has become my favorite topwater bait, you know, for walking the dog, you know, side-to-side action. And I'm going to tell you what, man, this thing has got some huge freaking bites for me. And, you know, this has, you know, side-to-side, but it also, you know, has a lot of splashes as you're walking it. And this is a very unique topwater. You know, just a little tip for you guys, if you want to get that much more action, you can tie a loop knot on it, and that'll give it that free range to give you that real good walking style on it, man. And in the post spawn, actually the pre-spawn, when the bass's metabolism gets up, and then especially post spawn and fall, man, I cannot walk this bait fast enough, and they just come unglued for it. This color right here is a gunmetal color or chrome or whatever you want to call it, but this thing shines in the sun. I mean, just shines, man.
And brother, that bait is rashed.
Yes,
You can
it
tell
is
that
absolutely rash. You can see the teeth marks on that joker, man.
that thing's got some battle damage.
Yes, I mean, it looked like you know, Will's Whopper Plopper here. I mean, that thing is just, it's crazy. But that's probably my all-time favorite right now. So we talked about walking baits, and man, how can you not talk about the Whopper Plopper? They come in, I think, 4 or 5 different sizes. Will, I'm gonna let you have it.
All right, this is the 90. This is the one size up from the smallest, okay? And this bait is completely rashed. I mean, it feels like sandpaper.
Yeah.
I mean, my best day ever came on this Whopper Plopper. And I tell you what, I was hesitant at first. I was kind of embarrassed to throw it because I was like, man, this thing, what in the world does this look like coming through the water?
Yeah.
Well, I threw it one day, straight braid, and I'm telling you what, the bass don't lie.
Yeah. I love that color too, man. It kind of looks like a frog coming through the water. And, you know, I got the white one here, and it's the 110 size. You know, this is going to be, you know, more like your bait fish color, stained water color. You know, the River to Sea 110, man. And some of your most explosive strikes come off the frickin' Whopper Plopper, man.
And, you know, I think they're, you know, you can take it back to like the original Buzzbaits and stuff like that. But this right here, you can slow it down.
Oh, yeah, you can creep that sucker.
You can be subtle with it, or you can just be obnoxious. And when they hit it to kill it.
Yo, there's no question. I got a buddy that frickin', he runs his, and he'll pop it. He'll give it a pop. You know, I think like when those fish start getting really aggressive, just to show them just something a little different.
Now I will tell you this. The only modification I've done to this bait, you can see that the original, the split ring to the hook, it'll get caught on that tail.
Yes, it will.
Every couple casts, it'll hang up like that.
Yeah.
Well, what I did, I added 1 extra split ring.
Man, that's an excellent idea. There's the tip for the day right there. Actually, I didn't even know about that, Will, till just now. That's because it will get caught up in that tail, especially if you want to upgrade your trebles. Man, I upgrade my trebles, man, to these top waters and all my crankbaits, but man, that is so true, man. That's a great tip right there.
I almost forgot about that, but that's one addition I made, because I'd make the perfect cast and it would be hung up, and I'd just drag it back to the boat. You know, that one cast you try to get to, you know, you think it's perfect, and it comes back, he's got his arms crossed, you know?
I think for short strikes too.
Oh,
you know, it'll extend that treble out just that much more, you know, if those fish are just coming up and nipping at it, which typically they don't with the Whopper Plopper. They come up to destroy this thing. So there's the Whopper Plopper, guys.
Whopper Plopper tip of the day.
Yes, sir.
Who hasn't thrown a buzzbait? Whether you're pond hopping in a regular farm pond or you're on a highland reservoir. Let's get into it.
Let's go. Man, a buzzbait, man. My God, even this time of year. Jeez. GoPro, stop recording.
Man down.
I can leave it up to trebles.
I got some pliers.
They always get you stuck. There we go.
Oh, we're still recording. All right.
Well, whatever.
Buzzbaits. Whether you're pond hopping in a little farm pond or you're on a highland reservoir, who hasn't thrown a buzzbait?
I tell you, tried and true, baby. Let's talk about for a minute all the different kinds of buzzbaits, man. There's so many on the market now. I mean, from your, you know, your minis
to your triples.
Yeah, your triples. I mean, so many different colors, clackers, you name it. I mean, man, a buzzbait, you know, man, can sometimes get you a bite at the damnedest times. You know, sometimes, like, you know, you wouldn't think they'd be hitting top water, man, but there's something special about a buzzbait. You know, just at the oddest times of year, be like, man, I don't think I want to throw top water, but
right,
you know,
dark?
Right, oh God, morning, right before dark, you know, to get a big bite, man. I mean, you know, a buzzbait, you just can't beat them.
And now, as Aaron was pointing out, buzzbaits come in different styles. You've got your double, your triple. It's like throwing a chandelier across the water.
It really is, yeah.
You've got your standard buzzbait, and then you've got your clacker.
Yeah. And
you can tell the difference in the sound. All right, his has a small bead right there at the propeller, and it actually gives a tinging noise. It just gives that little clack.
Yeah. Many ways to fine tune these things. The last buzzbait I got in the last video, you know, when you get a new one, you know, you want to fine tune it. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, but man, I've been hanging mine and tied mine to my antenna of my truck, because man, you want to get that good squeal, you know, because it just helps some bass locate that thing that much more. And man, when they hear that, man, I'm telling you, they tune in and they're coming to wreck it.
And that's old school. That's the old school approach right there.
Yes, sir. So that's your buzzbaits, guys.
And on these buzzbaits, put any trailer you want. You can put a split tail.
God, yeah.
You can put a pork chunk on the back.
Yep.
Even a swim bait trailer, like a larger Kitech.
Yeah, oh yeah. Guys run them swim baits, you know, and then of course you got your standard horny toads.
Oh yeah.
Your ribbit toads, you know, all that type of stuff. So let the fish tell you what they want. But that's your buzzbaits, guys. On to your poppers here. Man, there's a time and place for poppers, no question about it. I feel like poppers are kind of a more of a finesse approach, I think, if you will. You know, just a subtle little pop here and there. You know, not necessarily when a bass actually wants to eat a buzzbait or a walking bait or what have you. I think that's when these poppers can really shine.
And I tell you, one thing, Aaron, what I love is it's kind of like he said, a finesse approach, because it stays in that strike zone so long.
Yes, it does.
You know, it's not a walking bait. It's, you know, you're not walking it out of the strike zone. You're throwing it in there, and either you're popping it or you may just bubbles.
Yeah.
You know, just a small finesse tug.
Yeah.
Make a little bit of bubbles, and it stays in the strike zone as long as you want it to.
That's the coolest thing about a popper, man. I mean, you hit on that perfect. It stays in that strike zone, and it gives those timid bass, I think, just an extra few minutes to really think about it. Be like, God, do I want to hit that thing? But it stays right there, so it's almost, they have to.
Yeah. And I got a Yozuri. It's a Yozuri 3D pop. I see you've got the Mega Bass.
Yep, I got the little tiny Mega Bass, man. I love that thing.
And there's the larger Mega Bass. That's the Pop Max.
That's the Pop Max. That thing is awesome.
And one little thing about these Mega Bass, if you want that subtle approach, they actually take in water in the mouth, and on the gills,
yes,
it'll actually bubble out.
There's little tiny little, yep. Yeah, man, that thing is awesome.
So that just takes that finesse approach and just dials it in a little bit more.
Yep, absolutely. This little Mega Bass right here, man, you can, I suggest throwing it on a spinning reel because it's so lightweight. You'll get the cast distance, and man, that's just a super finesse approach, and they're gonna bite it.
Definitely. So, and you know, Mega Bass, the hooks are sharp.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. So there's your poppers.
Brings us to our next venue, frogs.
Frogs. Oh man, frog season. Man, they're already hitting frogs in Texas. I wouldn't be surprised if they're already hitting them now. Typically, you know, you want to throw these around some vegetation pads when the weeds start getting up. That's when they really start hammering the frog, I think.
Well, like my man Aaron said, frogs. And really, it is the fisherman's choice on what style you want.
Yep.
And it doesn't really matter if it's a rubber tail, if it's paddle feet, you know, you throw this back in the junk.
That's right.
You know, your Whopper Ploppers, your poppers, your Buzzbaits, all that stuff's going to get tangled up, but your frogs, they're made to come through the roughest of the rough.
About anything.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
You know, I got a Teckler frog here. Got the little mini with the little, what are them things called again? The little
willow blades.
Willow blades on the back of it just to let off a little bit more noise. Like Will said, man, you just throw these up in the junk, man, and they'll come through anything. Now,
the one good thing about these being the hollow bodies is, you know, those hooks are protected. Those hooks are protected until that bass hits it. And once it hits it, those hooks are exposed.
Yeah.
So that body really protects it.
Yeah. And you can absolutely give them the business on the hook set.
You got that right.
That's one of the funnest thing about a frog, man, is just laying the wood to them, man. That's my favorite thing about a frog, man.
What? I tell you, So Aaron, we're doing a topwater video, and you hand me this soft plastic split tail?
Yep.
You got some explaining to do.
Yeah, man. This the Powerbait Speed Boss. Man, this thing is so subtle, and you know it's kind of the way this displaces water on the back. God, we're gonna have to do this all.
Aaron, we're doing a topwater video, and you hand me this soft plastic? I think you got some explaining to do.
Yeah. Yeah, this is kind of a worm that, you know, I watched the video, I don't know, a couple months ago, man, and this thing just really stood out to me. It's the Powerbait Speed Boss worm, swimming worm. And man, the displacement that this thing puts off in the water is just, man, it is super, super unique to me. You know, you can throw a little tungsten on it if you want to fish it kind of subsurface. But man, I'm rocking this thing on the top water, man, because this right here, man, the action of this thing is just awesome. And you know, I got it in the biggest size they have. It's a 6.75 inches long, I believe, is what this one is. I think they make 3 different sizes. But man, I'm looking for a big bite with this thing. You know, I think this thing is going to be freaking awesome. I got it tied on right now for, you know, a fishing video that's coming up. Man,
not to cut you off, but are you wacky rigging this, or are you Texas rigging?
Texas rigging on a wide gap hook, but I recommend, you know, one of the swim bait hooks that you screw lock the nose right into the, you know, the head of it. And, you know, just a quick tip, when you cast it out there, you know, it's heavy enough so you can fish it weightless. You know, which is awesome. And especially these bass are going to get more and more shallow as we come into the, you know, the pre-spawn, and then, you know, the spawn and post-spawn or summer months and stuff like that, especially, you know, first thing in the morning, you know, or whatever. You know, these things are going to shine in the weeds, you know, in your weedy lakes, all that type of stuff. So, you know, the swim bait hook I think is going to be the best swimming action. And man, it's just, you know, cast it out there, reel it back, and as you're reeling it, you know, kind of keep your rod tip, you know, down to a little lower, and then, you know, you're actually going to reel pretty good. You know, so you're probably going to want, you know, a 6:3 gear ratio to 7:1.
Okay.
You can retrieve it pretty fast. So check these things out, man. I'm telling you, I got a sneaky good feeling about these things. So there's another little top water.
So
my man back here is throwing the Speed Boss as we speak. And I told you guys I got a sneaky feeling about it, and he just had a blow up on a bass. So I'm telling you, man, fish that thing.
Hey, and I'm telling you right now, I had my doubts. So I picked this thing up when we got done with our review. I picked this thing up, and I'm telling you what, this is a soft plastic Whopper Plopper.
It really is. It's like, yeah, man. It's pretty much, yeah, it really is. And I think it just looks like it's just a more subtle Whopper Plopper. That's exactly what it is.
Exactly. And I'm telling you what, I mean, it's, you know, it took me a second to get my retrieve.
Yep.
But I'm telling you what, I mean, it's coming through that water and it's looking good. And I had that blow up on it, so that kind of gives me some confidence in it.
There you go.
Well, these handful of baits right here, that pretty much wraps us up for our top choices. We're going to throw in some on the water footage. We got a little bit of drone video showing some of these baits in action coming across the water. And drop us a comment and let us know what you want to see on the water.
Yes, sir. Please do drop some comments if you guys like these videos, because, man, we can do a lot more for you guys. We've had a lot of fun doing this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And, you know, as always, please like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. You know what to do. And check us out on the next video.
Have a good one.